How would you describe using Dublin Bus?
A pleasant experience in general.
Certainly, some of the bus drivers are, the vast majority of them are very good, but sometimes you'll get one and it's,
Okay.
curt would be a polite way to put it.
What would be the key things that work in Dublin Bus for you?
The traffic corridor, when it changed, I can't remember how many years ago now, it transformed getting in and out of town. I would take up to an hour to get from A to B. Now it takes 20 minutes max.
Okay.
And I know I can depend on being on time for appointments. I always allow an extra 10 minutes.
Okay.
But my bus is always on time.
Okay.
The 140.
Okay.
I think the rear of the bus, the engines are very noisy and hot.
Okay, so what works well in Dublin Bus? The app and
The real-time app.
The real-time app and knowing at the bus stop when you're going to arrive.
Yes.
What would you, if you were the CEO of Dublin Bus, what would you change?
I don't know because I don't travel far enough out into the suburbs, but I think more buses, cheaper fares, the fares are too high. And I hear people paying their fares and I'm gasping. They need to bring the price down, make it more accessible and get the suits and the one seat in the car drivers onto the buses.
No, in general it works well. I mean, it's going to be an issue for any transport company is that there aren't always going to be direct routes to every destination from every origination,
Yeah.
But I wouldn't say that that's specifically, connected to Dublin Bus. I think it could be any transport system.
Okay.
Yeah, I think from my own, generally the bus services work okay, and I love that city centre fare. I would actually love it stretched a little bit up maybe into Camden Street or something, but I feel a lot of busmen need a whole new people management training thing. Just a lot of them would have attitudes.
But I actually think that there should be a bit of a PR to explain to people how the drivers are, the job they have to do, the fact that they've got to look at all of these issues. And actually, I think that would actually humanise it for people and make people realise how important that their job is. And if you were the CEO, what would you do to change? What would you change? Either just to make the service better or to attract more customers?
To be honest, the pricing of the tickets, for me, I started using the bus 6 months ago because it was costing me so much in petrol.
Yeah.
But yet I've actually realised that what I'm spending on bus tickets monthly,
Yeah.
When I calculate what the petrol cost might be and then, other costs like insurance and tax, it's not working out that much cheaper.
Okay.
Yeah. But the reason I'm doing it is because it's actually quicker for me to get the bus than it is to drive, but it's not actually more cost effective.
Okay. Are you commuting to work?
Yes.
So are you able to avail of the tax saver ticket? You know that you can get a tax deductible ticket through your employer.
Oh, yeah.
So it costs about half then you're paying the higher tax rate.
Okay, no, I haven't realised that.
Well, actually,
I should look into it.
okay.
So, I'm glad it's up to talk to you.
Anything?
Bus very clean. They're good standard.
Great. So can I ask you what you think works well in Dublin bus service?
Well, I certainly like the new system of the electronic timing, which is a great emotional boost to know when a bus is going to arrive, and it does arrive. Tremendous.
I myself, had a brain injury which I've thankfully recovered from. So there was a period of time where I was travelling on buses, and I found it really very, very hugely valuable that your drivers are instructed to deal with people with disabilities. And I know one guy who's a bus driver. He said to me that they're trained to assume that somebody could have a disability even if it's not obvious. And I think that is so impressive. Yeah, it's really good training.
I think if the route to town, say, were a little bit quicker, so for example, I live like 5 kilometres away from town, but it took me this morning 40 minutes on the bus. If maybe the bus didn't stop at every single stop, or if there were, I don't know, more frequency of buses, I suppose that stopping at every stop is what delays me getting into work. So if there was something around managing travel time to city centre, you know, and I guess that would have to mean, you know, more a higher number of buses on the road, maybe, which wouldn't be cost effective
So
either.
if we weren't stopping at every stop, would you prefer to work that little extra then?
Yeah. Or if there was like an express service or something, you know, from start to finish, and maybe it was an extra, I don't know, €3 per week, like that wouldn't bother me.
Okay.
If it meant that I was getting on and getting straight in, and I'd make sure I was at the bus stop on time. You know, if I knew that it was going to only take me 20 minutes to get into town as opposed to 35 or 40.
Okay. Can I ask where approximately you're coming
Yeah,
from?
I'm in Santry. Yeah.
There should be more Wi-Fi buses.
Okay.
Probably put that there.
Good.
That's very good.
Good.
Okay.
It's good. You know, it's good service. One of the best things is the timing, right? People physically know. They know they can walk to the next stop if they want to.
Yeah.
At least you know when it arrives.
Exactly.
Brilliant.
Yeah, good. So you're describing what works well in using Dublin Bus. So the drivers are great.
Yeah, I think they're very helpful, and I think particularly with the leap card, because I know you have to give them the destination and the exact location. And I think for them it's very hard because they have to listen through a screen which is perforations and glass, and they have to work out the fare from your description. And I think that's, for them, is a very difficult job, along with kind of looking at the traffic, looking at the people around them, and all of the other issues that they have to do. So I actually think they're hugely underrated for the work they do. I'm an architect myself, you know, and my job now, I'm working and I'm busy and everything else, but when I see what they have to do and the constraints that they're dealing with and the people management and the ergonomics of getting through crowds and buses, it's just, I think they're super. Yeah, I really do.
I don't know, the time things in the buses.
Yes, that's good.
Except when they don't work, you kind of get frustrated because...
But the majority of the time they do work. That's handy because we would take the kids to school on the bus, so we know when one's coming.
You can pick it.
We'd have a variety of buses to choose from, so we can choose which one is better to go for to get them in on time.
And what would you say? And if you were to change anything, you mentioned training. You were the CEO of Dublin Bus and wanted to change.
Training, people
skills.
people skills, absolutely.
No, because you get some bus drivers and they couldn't be more helpful and they chat to the kids and they're brilliant, and then you just get...
Yeah, a lot. I'm afraid to say I do find it a lot.
The drivers?
Oh, the bus drivers, yeah, they've always been really cool, like, always been nice. Like I get to 37, so the bus drivers are really, really cool, and maybe there should be more female bus drivers, you know?
Yeah,
that'd be always cool, yeah.
That wouldn't be bad.
Yeah, that'd be pretty awesome.
Generally, I think they're doing a pretty good job. And one thing I've really noticed is that the routes are now much more efficient. It's much easier to go long distances through the city. Like I've been travelling on buses for about 35 years now at this stage, so you can certainly see the improvement.
James, is it?
Yeah.
You've been out on the street talking to customers today, doing street conversations. How did you find the experience?
I thought it was very good, enlightening in ways that I got a few opinions from people and questions that I wouldn't get through driving the bus, you know, and you'd think you would get to hear everything, but you don't. It's different when you're asking people and they know that your sole purpose is there to listen to them.
Yeah, James, or David.
Yeah.
What's your experience of being out on the street today? How do you think?
Very enlightening.
Right.
Very enlightening. I'm nearly 17 years in the job now, and I've learned a few things today.
Right.
The overall experience has been very good, that the majority of people appreciate the job we do, and they're respectful of the job we do.
What would you say to any other driver who was thinking of coming out on the street?
Go out and speak to the people. It'll make you realise there's an awful lot of drivers in the company that don't actually think they're appreciated for the job they do. And when you get to speak to ordinary decent people, it kind of gives you a bit of a good feeling knowing that people genuinely do appreciate the job you do. And I take a lot of pride in my job. Make these lads realise that it's a good job.
Okay.
It's a good job to be in.
Great. All right. Thanks very much, Dave, for that. Okay.